Alright, so a couple of weeks ago, Marvel has a new animated project on Disney Plus called Marvel Zombies. This is a project that I wasn't looking forward to, and then I was when the trailer came out because big Marvel fan, big zombie fan, Marvel Zombies. Pretty easy win for me. So, yes, I'm a little late to the party. I checked it out the first night, the first episode, and then it took me a couple weeks to watch 4 30-minute episodes for some weird reason. But I finally finished it a couple nights ago, and here is my review. Before I dive into that, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what are your opinions on Marvel Zombies. I would love to know all that and more. And with that said, like I said, Marvel Zombies, two of my favorite things, easy win. And it was an easy win. This is an awesome show. I loved it. I'm seeing people that hate the show. I'm seeing people that really enjoy the show but have flaws with it. If you're here looking for a competent review, wanting to know the flaws, the positives, if it's worth your time, you're not getting that in this review because I am a Marvel fan, a zombie fan, so I'm gonna like it. And I am totally fanboying out on this review. I am not reviewing this as a critic. I'm reviewing this as someone who enjoys these two things and just had a freaking blast watching the show. But essentially, it's watching my favorite characters fight my favorite characters as zombie versions. That's cool. That's really cool to me. We get to see characters in the MCU that you never thought would interact. Like Kamala, Kate Bishop, Riri Williams, Shang-Chi, Awkwafina's character, Death Dealer. That's the Shang-Chi characters, the new Avengers, or the Young Avengers characters. You get to see Spider-Man and Ant-Man and all of these cool characters. But you get to see them interacting with each other that you never thought you'd see interact, while also fighting zombies. And as someone who grew up with these characters, who adores Marvel with a passion, he loved watching these characters interact on screen, even though it's not may not be your definitive version of these characters. But it's still these characters, and it was still fun to watch them interact on screen. You also get zombies, and seeing the zombie characters. Zombie Hawkeye, Zombie Scarlet Witch, Zombie Thor. Heck, at one point you get Zombie Thanos, which is just insane and awesome. Like, I cannot stress enough how much fun I had watching this show. It is brutal, it's gory, people die. People die. It's a Marvel show that's not afraid to have people get killed, have people get ripped in half, chewed up. You are flat out watching your favorite characters die in a zombie apocalypse. It's a zombie apocalypse, and it's not a zombie apocalypse that is for kids. It's not like, oh, but they're Marvel characters, so obviously they're going to survive. No, you see limbs get chopped off, and people die, and some even really emotional deaths when you get people like Yelena and Red Guardian in the show. And yes, there is spoilers in this review because it has been out for several weeks. But you get those emotional deaths and you get those emotional character moments because you adore these characters so much from watching them in the MCU. And when you see them die on screen in the zombie apocalypse, it's awesome. The show's also so hopeless. And you know me, I love to gush about something when it's so hopeful and inspiring. But if it's a show like this, I love how hopeless it is. I love how it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the end. I love how characters die. And I love how actually dangerous it feels. The show is never scary. Don't get me wrong. There's never a moment where I was scared. But there are some tense sequences. Some sequences where you're sitting back and I'm just kind of thinking, now how would I get out of this situation? Kind of like what I do with any zombie project. If I'm watching a zombie movie, I'm thinking, what would happen if I was in this situation? And I'm thinking that here. And then I'm thinking of my favorite characters and I'm thinking about how they're probably going to die. And then I'm thinking about how hopeless it all seems. And that's awesome to me. How they captured the hopelessness of a zombie apocalypse, but also just so much fun because you get to see zombies and you get to see your Marvel characters interact with each other. So much fun. Also, you get to see there is some great zombie set pieces. In the beginning of episode 2, there's a giant zombie with the PEM lab going down and zombies shrinking and zombies going big, which is awesome. You get underwater zombies with the Namor sequence. Namor is actually really awesome in here. I also love how the show is taking place inside of the MCU, but an alternate reality of the MCU. It's not creating its own ideas. It is quite literally the battle for Wakanda, but they're zombies. The battle at the end of Endgame, but they're zombies. with the finale in the 4th episode. It is so cool taking us through the MCU, but they're zombies. You have the beginning of Shang-Chi in episode 2, but they're zombies. It is so cool. And I know I'm totally fanboying out right now, but that's just where I'm at with this show because I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I love zombies. I love Marvel. And it was just awesome to watch. In each episode, I'm just sitting back and I'm thinking, how can people hate this? This is awesome. Awesome set pieces, awesome blood and gore, character deaths. It's hopeless, it's intense, and it's just awesome for a fan of the show. So I know this was kind of a pointless review if you're going in to watch a review for a film critic, but that's just where I'm at with my pure love for Marvel and for zombies and how they just completely captured what they were kind of planning on doing with the show. They could have done it better, in my opinion. There are a few minor flaws for me, nothing too fancy, but the voice cast is not all that strong. Well, you knew that if you watched What If. You knew that the voice cast wasn't going to be all that strong, but certain characters, and it pains me to say this because of how much I love Iman Vellani, but Iman Vellani is not a good voice actress. Comes off as really stiff and honestly kind of cringy. Tom Holland doesn't voice Spider-Man, and Spider-Man just feels weird. Just the voice cast as a whole, a lot of it comes off as stiff. Now, you do have a lot of it. David Harbour, Florence Pugh, Red Guardian Yelena. Loved their voice cast. Felt just like the characters. But when you get Iman Vellani, and it's such this hopeless show, and then you get her going, no! It's not good voice acting. Again, no shade to Iman Vellani, because her character is Ms. Marvel's top 3 character in the MCU for me, just because of how much fun she is in every project she's in. So, no hate to her. But she's not a good voice actress. Don't like to say that, but she's not. Also, the first episode isn't as good. It took a while for me to get used to it, mainly because of the voice cast, but also it just felt a little weird. Luckily, the second episode started off with a bang and just didn't really let up. Until the finale, where I think the final 5 minutes didn't wrap up satisfying enough. I felt like we needed another episode. I didn't quite understand what was going on in the final 5 minutes. It felt like it went a completely different direction than I was thinking. And then it kind of swept the rug out of your feet without explaining why they swept the rug out of her feet. And I guess that's kind of set up a season 2 and trying to end off at this bleak, hopeless note. But it didn't feel satisfying to me. I love when things end off on a bleak, hopeless note where everything's not all sunshine and rainbows. That didn't really work for me. It felt like there was more story to tell, and they just kind of wrapped it up. Also, I am seeing the criticism that a lot of people are saying, it should have been a movie. I fully agree. Definitely should have been a movie. As much as I enjoyed the 30-minute episodes and just watching it at my own pace, I honestly kind of wish it was a movie. I feel like I could rate that a little bit higher if it was a film instead of a straight TV show. So, criticisms that didn't really affect my love for the show. Again, I'm viewing this as a fan, as someone who just had so much fun with it. Those criticisms are just the minor criticisms, didn't impact my love for the show, is not going to impact my score in the end. Speaking of score, before I give my final one, please make sure to subscribe, like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what are your opinions on Marvel Zombies. I would love to hear all that and more. If you haven't seen Marvel Zombies, is my review going to change your mind? Are you going to check out Marvel Zombies? And with that said, this is going to sound completely weird for me because it's not something I like to hand out that often because it's meant for something special. But for me, this was just so much fun. It's going to be added to my yearly October watch list. I think I'm going to have to give Marvel Zombies an A+, and it is going to get the Zach D. Films seal of approval, which is really weird when you look at a couple other films that have my Zach D. Films seal of approval, and you look at this and you say, this is so weird. This is so odd. Why is this getting Zach D. Films seal of approval? Well, it's because I'm a fan. And as a fan of both of the things that were in the show, it worked for me. It was completely perfect on that level. As a critic, it does have its flaws, but I think if you love Marvel and if you love zombies, you're going to love this show. And that's me. And so I love the show. Alright, thank you guys for clicking on this review. Stay tuned. We got several reviews coming this weekend. And with that said, subscribe.